It's Keesha Barnett. I'm here with Josh McKenzie.
What's up, people? What's
up?
Yeah.
So again, I said it before, if you're just now logging in, go ahead and tag a barber, a stylist, any entrepreneur in this post. Even help us out even further than that. Go ahead and share the post right now. You know, the body, the temple, mind, body, and soul is so important to do the things that you want to do in life. You got to keep it. You got to keep it right.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I just want to inspire some people with my story and the things that I've gone through within the past. I would say about 4 years. And as we get older, I realize, you know, we can work and do so much, but we neglect our bodies, we neglect our health, and the things that I went through, I want to be able to share my story to try to help some people so they won't go through the same thing I went through.
Yeah. So for all those, because I have you tagged in on my post, all those that may not know Josh is a full-time barber. You are the CEO of the Amber Collection.
Yes.
What else? Because I saw you, are you a spokesperson for Shore?
Actually, you know what? I am.
Yeah.
I started with Shore back in 2016. And I became a partner with them, and it drastically helped my business in controlling everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Besides that, there's a lot of stuff we got to talk about since the last interview, so, you know. Okay.
Well, go ahead. Let's recap for anybody that missed part one. So you are now tuning into part two of the story. I'm going to say the beginning of Josh McKenzie's documentary. He didn't say it. I said it.
Yeah.
So the part two of it, but let's recap and go back to part one, because you wanted to do part one. Tell them why you wanted to do part one.
I wanted to do part one because a lot of these things get overlooked when it comes to entrepreneurship or, you know, being a barber or a stylist. And I had some health issues, and a lot of people didn't see me at hair shows. They didn't see me in different events, and I took my health serious. But before I didn't, and I realized when I was going through those things, I had to really take my health serious if I wanted to continue to flourish in my career and everything that I wanted to do. So I wanted to kind of share my story to help those people out there to not neglect your health. And we all worry about the money. Everybody want to make money. But when it all boils down to it, your health is way more important than money.
Yeah, because in the hair industry, typically you got a lot of people that's standing up all day. They neglect to take an adequate lunch break, maybe not drinking enough water throughout the day.
Right.
And your pockets are full, but sometimes you take the risk of going down the road that you had to go down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of years ago, I was in the hospital. I suffered through like blood pressure issues. I had rhabdomyolysis. You would have to look that up. Just a number of issues that I had never dealt with before. And I was like, well, like why? Like, why am I going through this stuff? And as we get older, you have to really pay attention to your body. And that's what we neglect. We don't pay attention to our body. We're so focused on like, I got to make this money or I got to take care of my family, which is true. But we put the health to the side, and we go so long without taking care of ourselves, we just hit a brick wall. And that's what happened to me.
And so when you found yourself in the hospital, it was like an awakening. Like, okay, I got to change up something.
Right.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I have to change up the way I eat. You know, take breaks when needed. And just eliminate a lot of stress. And it's still hard. Like I've done that. It's still hard doing that right to this day, even though I've eliminated some of those things, but it's a lot better. You know, I forgot what you called it last time, but you know, waking up at 5 a.m, don't come home until like 7 or 8, you know, and you know, we get older, man, we have to work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just now learning this within the last like 3 or 4 years. You know?
I noticed that I was talking to a girl that I mentored. She's young. She's about 25 years old. And, you know, it's a little bit different at some of the newer stylists and barbers that are coming into the industry. For us, we were taught to be workhorses. You know, we come in the industry, we money chasing, but it was the love of it. You saw other stylists and barbers, and you saw their tenacity about being there, and you wanted to be just like. But like you said, not realizing it was some bad habits that we gained along the way.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely gained some bad habits. As in the result, I ended up in the hospital. Just to recap from the last interview, I got my health back on track. Everything was good. We did actually. I think today is like a year to the day.
A year to the day, yeah.
I think it's a year to the day. So in January of this year, my grandmother passed.
Okay.
And I kind of went through like, I wouldn't say a depression. I just wasn't myself. It just stuff was different. So, being an entrepreneur, we're working and we're doing things that, I'm trying to. And we tend to. Like when loved ones pass, we tend to work to try to take that stuff off our mind.
Right.
And that's what I kind of did. I wouldn't say it was a depression situation, but I just didn't care about what I ate. It just a lot of
you
things.
You were grieving.
Yeah. And I gained a lot of weight, and my blood pressure was messing with me again. Time went on, and then what was that? I think it was June or July. I ended up back in the hospital. And I kind of got myself together, trying holistic things to try to take care of my body, but it was just like too late. So I ended up in the hospital 2019 again.
Okay.
And a lot of people didn't know that. I had like excess fluid on me. My kidneys were messing with me again. And I was in the hospital for about 2 weeks.
Okay. Wow.
About 2 weeks.
Now, for all of the entrepreneurs, stylists, and barbers that are tuned in, 2 weeks can almost take somebody out.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not proper. And these videos are to prevent. You want these to be preventative measures for anybody that's out there that's listening. If you never had to deal with some major health issues or had to forcefully get off work for 2 weeks, this is your opportunity to set some things in place so you can prevent having to go through that struggle.
Right, most definitely. And at the time I knew it, but I just didn't, I guess because I was grieving. And in my mind I knew, hey, I had to take care of myself, but, essentially I didn't. And I ended up in the hospital 2 weeks. They drained like the first night they drained like 60 pounds of fluid out of me. No, it was 30 pounds, I'm sorry.
30 pounds?
Yeah, it was like 30 pounds of fluid off of me.
That's a lot, Josh.
Yeah, it was a lot. And people in the shop, I come, my clients know, I send messages through my system, but a lot of people don't know, like a lot of things that I've gone through to try to, keep up with my health. And I'm just trying to help people so they don't have to go through this. Because, it's difficult. It's very, very difficult because even though I tried to change those things, sometimes you just get back into those habits. You just don't, you just can't help yourself.
Right.
So ended up in the hospital. They drained the fluid off, and I was off 2 weeks. And then I got home. I was at home 2 days. And when they drained the fluid off of me, I almost passed out at home. I was in my yard working, doing some stuff. But what happened was... Were
you supposed to be sitting down somewhere?
I was. I was. I ain't gonna lie. But as entrepreneurs, we can't. I can't.
It's hard to sit. Yeah.
But that wasn't the reason though. I ended up having to go back to the hospital 2 days after I had got released, and they drained too much fluid off.
Okay.
So my blood pressure dropped. I had to go back into the hospital for like 3 days, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know.
Don't know that. No, because I didn't know when I saw the post. I'm like, yo, brother, you all right? You good? You know what I mean? Checking on, you know what I mean? And we have to be conscious about doing that as well. Just checking on each other, making sure, and holding each other accountable. That's another thing that this live for all of the entrepreneurs that's on it is just holding each other accountable so that you don't have to experience that. Right. Or if you are experiencing it, you're not by yourself.
No, you're not. Yeah. And the main thing is to bring awareness. Like, what I want people to get from this is to really pay attention to your health. The money and the love and the passion is going to be there, but really take care of the health. Because if you don't have your health, you can't pursue what you're trying to do.
That's right.
And for me, there's a lot of things that I've wanted to do within the past like 3 or 4 years, but I haven't. I mean, I post stuff and do things every now and then, but I've been so focused on my health. It's just like, man, I have to really take care of myself.
Right.
And when I got out of the hospital, I think we talked about this. A lot of the food that we eat.
This is a big one.
A lot of the food that we eat is making us the way we are. Like, I know barbers who have burgers on their stands eating in between cutting clients.
Right.
You know, or they just order like whatever and just eat it while they working. But when I got out, I kind of went on like a plant-based diet. I started eating at vegan places. I don't call myself a vegan,
right?
But I cut out a lot of red meat, a lot of things. But I noticed a difference,
a huge difference. Yeah.
And that's all part of me paying attention to my health and not just worrying about working.
Right.
And once I started going vegan, I went back to the doctor to check on my kidneys. And my kidneys actually improved.
Yeah.
They improved. Like, a lot of people are so dependent on like a lot of the doctors. I'm not saying that the doctors aren't a big help, but it's your responsibility to really focus and do the research for yourself. Like, the doctor told me that they would consider putting my name on the list for a kidney transplant.
Wow.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
So I was like, I told my wife, I said, nah, that's not gonna be me. I was like, nah, because I saw my grandmother both of my grandmothers go through it, and I was like, nah, that's not gonna be me. So about 4 weeks later, I went back. I completely changed my diet. Yeah. And the doctor asked me, he was like, well, what have you been doing? And I said, well, what do you mean? I said, I just changed my diet. And so from a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being good, 5 being bad, my kidneys was at a 4. I was at a 4.
That's major.
But when I went back to the hospital, the doctor, my kidneys went from a 4 to a 2. And it just kept improving. So
that fast.
If I hadn't paid attention to that, which is I'm trying to let everybody else know that, you know, I could have ended up on dialysis or something. And I'm still like, it's still a work in progress.
Right.
You know? And I'm trying to put it out there so people won't have to get that far.
Exactly.
You know, like, take care of your health.
So a couple of things you said. One, you know, don't just rely on what somebody else tell you.
Right.
Pay attention to yourself, research. And then 2, for all of the people that just thought, man, wait a minute, I can't, what? Not eat no meat? What?
Nah.
Listen, no, do what works for you, but it's doable. And I definitely know what you're talking about, because I try my best. I don't claim to be a vegan, but I try to eliminate as much meat as I possibly can. So, you know, I have it sporadically, and that was one of the things that I noticed. My joints was hurting.
Right.
So all of y'all out here having knee problems and your back hurting, you know, a lot of the stuff that they put in the food, in the meat, fast food, all of the processed stuff does not work well in your body. So if you're a person, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this out here, this is not Josh saying it, that's a little overweight and you standing up all day, you're not getting any vegetables, you're not drinking water, man, if not, pay attention. This is you saying, yo, pay attention to your health, listen to your body to prevent. So what's some of the struggles that are behind the scene that people don't see? Like, number one, you already said, you know, a lot of people didn't even know you went to the hospital. Then, so on a day-to-day basis, it's a struggle to just try to stay on that type of diet and regimen because you're not used to it. You know what I mean? What's some of the other struggles?
Some of the other struggles is just having energy. I was drinking a lot of like energy drinks just to try to cope and work. Basically. Right. So when I cut the meat and stuff out, I quit drinking like the energy drinks. Which that was like a struggle for me.
Okay.
I wasn't supposed to be drinking them anyway. But,
right. Because you got a lot of sugar and stuff in it too.
A lot of sugar and caffeine. I mean, but it worked.
Right.
It worked. It got me through the day. But what I noticed was when I cut all it out and I started eating right, I didn't even need the energy drinks. And I was like, wait a minute, my whole body like feel totally different.
Much better.
It feels better. And I'm like, I don't even have a desire to even go get it because my body is just naturally it feels energized.
Right,
because of what I've been putting in my body. Some of the other struggles are just, behind the scenes is really sometimes dealing with people and not really understanding, your situation or my situation. That's one of the struggles for me, because people just want their haircut, they just want to service me, but it's just like you're not thinking about me. I mean, I'm at work more than I'm at home.
Right.
So that's one of the struggles that I deal with, just trying to balance that and just trying to talk to people and get them to understand, hey man, this is my life too.
Right. And that was going to be my next question, talking about balance. It's like you really had to just take a stand. I was telling somebody that hair life can take over your life. I know a lot of barbers and stylists can attest to this. It can take over your life. Yeah, at the end of the day, you got a pocket full of money, but to what expense? Your health, not having a social life, missing out on your kids,
Most definitely.
Stuff like that. So that's the biggest thing. What are some things that are working for you in that area to keep it balanced? Like you said, one, talking to your clients, but are you just like making it firm that, I can't be there on this day?
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing that helped me was collaborating with Shore, signing up with them, because before then, I'm in a personal suite, so when I first got there, I would have one person in the chair, I have two people in my room.
Oh, you finna step on some toes, Josh.
And then, hey, I mean, it's just
I would have
like 3 people outside with me. So, I had to really create a balance and find something that would help me create that balance. And Shore really helped me in that situation. And it cut down on a lot. And this just works for me.
Yeah.
It just works for me.
Yeah.
So having a system works because you're not really working when you're off of work. A lot of y'all out there, y'all working while y'all off work. And having a system, for me, it may not work for everybody, but for me, it works because if I have family time, I don't have to answer phone calls or texts or, try to figure out where I can put this person. And then you have to worry about, okay, if I schedule this person, I'm double booking, different situations like that. So I think that's helped me a lot.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So I know barbers and stylists, they can sew. Oh, Josh.
I mean, but it's just the truth.
It's definitely the truth. It's definitely the truth. And like you said, man, again, you just got to create a balance in whatever that is for you. Right. Now, what about some of the barbers that say, well, man, I don't necessarily want to get a scheduling system because it's going to count out, it's gonna cut down on my money.
No, see, that's a very big misconception.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is, and I thought the same way before I started. So what happens is, just say on a Thursday, Friday, as a barber, just say you take in like 20 people each day. So that's like 40 people, right? But then you got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you sitting doing this, twiddling your thumbs, or you waiting for people to book. But what's going to happen is, if you control the narrative, what's going to happen is you're not going to spend all day in the shop on a Friday or a Saturday. And those clients that would normally book was spread out from Friday, Saturday to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you complain, and then what's going to happen is you're going to get off at a reasonable time, and you're going to start at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
So you telling your significant other or whoever, oh, I'll get off at this time, and then like 2 hours, and you still at the shop? Like, you
must got some. You must have done that before, Josh.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I can't see wifey. She like, No, I totally understand. The stylist, I get it. I definitely know. So, like you said, just having a balance, and regardless, even if you don't have any health problems, again, this is to prevent. You still just need a balance in your life.
Right, most definitely.
Again, not to let that part of your life just take over the rest of your life. You still need a balance.
Yeah, you have to, because you have to have a balance, because it cuts down on a lot. I mean, you work so much on the weekend, you be so tired you don't want to do anything.
Right, right.
So
we can relate. We get off on Friday, like, shoot, we gotta go. You want to go somewhere? You want to go? I'm good.
I'm cool.
Netflix and chill. No. So again, y'all, while we cracking up, go ahead and take this time. If you haven't tagged anybody, if you haven't shared, go ahead and share the post. Tag a barber, a stylist, an entrepreneur, really anybody that work out there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or that you know that doesn't really have a good balance. Just sharing the importance of taking care of yourself and creating a balance in your life. I remember, Josh, this was some years ago, and one of my clients came in and she was working her budget. Mm-hmm. And the amount that she was working was what she made all month. And I was like, clutch my pearls. I make more than that in a week, right?
Right.
But what it taught me was, one, okay, you can survive off less mm-hmm. to gain a balance in your life. And then what you still making is still great. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know what I mean? So again, to create that balance, because I know what you're talking about, just being exhausted all the time, not eating, not taking care of yourself, been there, done that. Yeah, so we want to prevent that, y'all. Seriously.
It's funny that you say that, because when I got out of the hospital, started making those health changes, I implemented lunch. I wasn't taking lunch breaks, mm-hmm. breaks. And I cut down my start time. So I was going in at like 7 o'clock every morning mm-hmm. and 6 on the weekends. So I started implementing those things, and I'm like, man, I'm cutting down my hours. I'm not gonna make as much money, but mm-hmm. as time went on, I'm still making a good amount of money,
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not compromising my health for it.
Yeah, yeah. So what's some of the advice that you can give those that's watching to not neglect your health?
It just goes back to putting your health first. Not looking at the money so much. I mean, everybody wants to make money. Mm-hmm. I mean, whether you're a barber, you're a photographer, videographer, stylist, working a 9 to 5, everybody wants to make money. But don't neglect your health in the process. Mm-hmm. Like we go so hard on working, we just don't take time to go to the doctor. Because if you don't go to the doctor, you never know what's going on in your body.
Right.
You never know, how you could help whatever situation is going on. Mm-hmm. And I would make doctor's appointments and I didn't even show up. I would skip them,
Well, you know what? I want to put something in there right there. I want to throw this in there right here. So how did that affect you? Did you have health insurance?
I have health insurance, yes.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. So what do you say to all the barbers and stylists that don't have health insurance, and it's not, we know insurance is expensive, but we know what we have the capability of making.
Right.
We also know what we spend our money on.
Right.
And so what do you say to those that don't have it?
If you don't have it, I feel sorry for you. No, but having health insurance is very important. I mean, even though we make the money, health insurance, like you said, is expensive. So you don't want to spend a large amount of money on health insurance on your health without health insurance, mm-hmm. because it's going to take all your money. I basically have like other coverage, like combined insurance. So mm-hmm. like if I'm out of work,
yeah,
that insurance help it actually. So I pay into it, mm-hmm. and then if I'm out, I get money back.
So would that be investing in yourself, Josh?
Yeah,
what?
Most definitely.
No, that's important.
It's more than just being behind a chair and just like cutting hair. Like you have to find a way to cut corners and utilize whatever you can, to your advantage.
Right.
But health insurance is, if you don't have health insurance, you have to get health insurance.
Get some.
It doesn't have to be the most expensive health insurance. Just something that you can be covered and you can go and take it, get yourself looked at. That's
right.
the most important.
Right. And y'all just throw this in there, Obamacare, you can sign up until I think December 15th. So go check that out. It's important. And like you said, I even like the fact that you said you had the combined insurance where mm-hmm. you pay in. That's things like Aflac, right. What's that, Progressive. Right. And those are things, so when you're out right. out of work, that can supplement your income. So you're not paranoid. You're not like, oh my goodness. Because our first thought is, I'm out. Mm-hmm. You don't stand behind that chair, you're not making money. Yeah. So the other piece that I like the fact that you got the Amber collection going, because mm-hmm. now people are thinking to do other things beyond the chair. to create an income so that you're not having to stand behind the chair so much.
Right.
That's important.
And that's the reason why I created the Amber collection. Besides having a passion for like the hair and the hair industry, I always wanted to start my own product line. But, you know, in the midst of developing that, I feel like that will be an avenue for me to you know, bring in some income to make outside of the barber chair. So as I get older, I can kind of push away from the barber chair and go towards that and start teaching classes. And I'm still not where I want to be. Right. You know, I've been perfecting the Amber collection. So, you know, in the coming years, man, I plan on doing some real big things with it.
Yeah. Well, I commend you that you already got a product out. I think when somebody have a finished product, you got something tangible, man, that's hard. That's a tough process. We talked about that on the first one, just getting that together. So that's a tough process. So I commend you on that. Definitely. So again, man, think about all of the ways that you can create other income so that you are not just you only just have the income that from standing behind the chair.
Right.
So, okay, you tapped on depression. I mean, not depression. I'm sorry. When you were grieving, and so, how do you keep yourself motivated through those difficult times? Through times when, you know, you have a death in the family and you still gotta make it through. How do you keep yourself motivated?
Well, I know for me, I try to tap into my creative side. I was an artist before I actually became a barber. And being an artist allows me to kind of like express myself, even though I haven't drawn in quite some time. But, you know, being an artist is more than just like drawing. I mean, just like creating, like doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know, how I post my pictures or just coming up with different concepts of things that I want to do to brand myself, you know, just being creative. So I try to keep my mind occupied with things like that whenever I'm grieving or going through, you know, some things.
Yeah. So even when you were talking about during that time, you wasn't really taking care of yourself, like going forward, what's some things that you plan to put in place to where, you know what, if something happens, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, be aware. Is it, like you said, are you planning to pull out the paint and draw a little bit together? Because, you know, that's what you got to do. Sometimes you don't know that you're grieving. You don't know that you're going through things because we have a tendency to just be workhorses. We just work. We got to work through it. But like you said, you have to take that time to grieve or go through whatever.
Honestly, I mean, that's what I did, though. I mean, it kind of sound bad, but I was just thinking about all the things that I had to do. You know, and that kept my mind occupied.
Yeah,
it's kind of bad. I should have been drawing. I have a canvas in my room that I said I was gonna paint. It's been about a year. I haven't painted yet. But you know, and stuff with like social media and how the world is now. Like I'm still learning a lot of these technical things. So like that takes up a lot of my time. Just learning, you know, social media and how to brand yourself and be a company basically.
Right.
You know, so
that's like a second job.
It is.
When somebody say, "Are you working?" I'm like, "I'm working." You know, but they typically, "You're not at the shop." No, I'm working at the table. I'm creating posts, trying to Facebook and change the algorithm on you. You don't know how to. It's something to learn. Yeah,
and it gets frustrating. You know, I was talking to one of my good friends about it, and he was like, "Man, the algorithm changed again." I'm like, "Again?"
Again.
It's like, man, you can't use the same hashtags. You can't do this. You can't. I'm like, oh man. People getting mad about taking away likes. I'm like, man, I ain't worried about no likes. I want my stuff to be seen. Can you see it?
Yeah, I found out about the algorithm. I sent a post via Messenger, and people were like, I didn't even know you were still having a show. And I'm like, what? Yes. And somebody sent me a message about the algorithm. Anywho, so yeah, that's like a second job. That's like a whole second job. Okay, you mentioned social media. So how you feel, you know, even with working so much, you got your health going on, even the stuff in the world that's going on, the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, the Jay-Z buying into the NFL and black men getting, you know, shot up and just, you know, all the crazy stuff that's going on. How do you keep all of that balance so it's not stressing you out, so you're not really tapped into it? What's your thought about all of that?
Well, which part?
I did say about 3 things. Yeah. We can go there. We can start there.
With the Kaepernick situation?
Yeah.
That situation is kind of, I look at that situation differently than everybody else looks at it. I don't necessarily like everything that he kneeled for and things that that he protested for. I'm in agreement with, but I just feel like you can't bully the NFL, their own organization, to try to get a job. And let me elaborate on that. What a lot of people don't know is Kaepernick wasn't even a number one quarterback before he started kneeling.
Ooh, wait a minute, Josh.
If you go back and look at his stats for the past 2 years, he was on the bench. So it wasn't until he started kneeling. You think an organization gonna want to bring that baggage? I'm not saying everything that he kneeled for wasn't a bad thing. Because I would want him to stand up for what he feels was right. But everybody's jumping on a bandwagon. I'm just looking at it from both sides. Everybody's just so one-sided.
Okay.
I think he should stand up. But also everybody else should look at the other side. Like, he wasn't even a number one quarterback.
Because so many people done clutch their pearls, ladies.
Right.
And the men are like, what? Let me tell you, tell you what that took me back to. That took me back to what barbershop scene was that? And he was like, you ain't going to talk about.
Oh, yeah. That was in barbershop too?
I think so. Wow, that's an interesting perspective, Josh. I didn't even think about it from that standpoint.
But see, nobody does. What they're doing is they're posting, they're looking at things on social media. And this is my big thing. I've always been a thinker instead of running with the status quo. So instead of making my assumption, I would think and try to look at different situations. They say, he was blackballed. But you can't look at the NFL situation and see why he was blackballed. You have to look at his side too. And furthermore, like this past Saturday, the NFL, I don't know, you can call it a publicity stunt with the NFL or whatever, but he said for 3 years he didn't get an opportunity. The opportunity is here. And then with two hours before you actually try out for these teams, you switch it because you wanted to film the practice. But they were going to send the videotapes to all the teams out anyway.
Wowzer.
So, it's just people aren't reading or looking at the thing, in depth versus going with the status quo and saying, he's black, he was blackballed. I mean, this is just my thought on it. This is just because.
Well, I think you raise a valid point because they know they can put certain things in the media, and for the brown skin experience, honey, we jump all on it and on it, and we and like you said, missing some of the underlying stuff. I know y'all probably think, what does this have to do with what we were talking about? We have to digress a little bit.
Talk about some of the things that's going on.
Some of the things that's going on. We got some hearts. They was agreeing with you, but I know some people. I can't wait to see that. I can't see the messages. I can't wait, Josh. You're going to get some text messages and some inboxes. Why don't you talk about Kaepernick like that?
I can actually go deeper, but I'm not going to do that.
We ain't going to do that because we're talking about health. We're trying to prevent y'all from being in the hospital. No, but that's important. And we're talking about that because that's the whole aspect of your life.
Right.
And when I said, this is the beginning of the documentary, pay attention now, okay? I'm putting, he didn't say it, I said it, we put it on out there. Well, man, I just really appreciate you being transparent about it and again, just wanting everybody to be aware of, their health.
Right. Most definitely, because it's the most important thing. And if you guys have any doctors or I'm going to try to find some doctors so I can put at the link at the end of this video. We'll put it on, not the end of this video, but probably on the YouTube link.
Yeah.
Anybody that need help or anybody that can share me of, some good, or even Keesha, some good physicians that, that we can share and put out there for everybody to go check out. And because a lot of people don't even know any good physicians or doctors to go to, to see about their health. So
I want to also throw in too, if you know any African American doctors, and this is not to exclude anybody, but I do want to speak from the brown skin experience. If you know of any African American doctors, I have female doctors, don't know of any male doctors. If you could send them to me, we will post them on this link. It's very important. I made a post and they were talking about they're putting a law in place, I think it was in California, so that African American women are not dying during birth.
Oh wow, I think I saw that too. I did see. I saw
So
that earlier.
why do we need? And last year I put a post of a doctor saying why so many black women are dying during birth. It's because they don't believe the pain levels
Wow.
of brown skinned women. So it's a very serious thing. Like you said, don't let somebody just tell you about your body. If it don't feel right, don't just take that. Do like Josh did. Take a step further and say, you know what? No, your answer is not the all. Let me dig into it. Let me find out about it. Let me make some changes, and then go and see if you can find somebody else. It's really that serious.
And don't ignore your body. Like,
Yeah.
if your body's telling you something, because I was doing that for a long time. I still struggle with it a little bit, but now I'm like, man, let me sit down.
Yeah, like you ain't supposed to have a headache for 3 days, people.
Right. Like start listening to your body, because if you don't listen to your body, man, it, like days could go by and it'd be too late.
Yeah,
You know? Like me, I started to try to take initiative to take care of my health, and it was just too late. I ended up in the hospital.
Yeah. Okay, so what was the longest stay that you had in the hospital?
The longest stay I think it was at 2 weeks.
The 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't stay right there. I want to stay right there for a bit. Like, okay, for 2 weeks, Josh, in the hospital. Like I said, it's tough for us to take a week off and go on vacation.
But to be it was hard.
Josh was probably in that time of, man, come on through. I'll cut you up with a nurse's change shifts or something.
But you know what? The way I was feeling, I really wasn't in a rush because I was feeling bad. I was just like, let me just stay in here until they fix whatever need to be fixed.
Right.
Like, I don't care how long I'm in here. I just need to get well.
Yeah. And then what was your mindset about your family? Because not just, we've been talking about the business side of it, being sick, how it affects the business. But as a man, I know you were thinking, man, I got a wife, I got kids.
Yeah, I thought about all that. Those times you got to be appreciative of knowing how to budget your money. So, I didn't really suffer or anything while I was in there, but I still had that mind frame, like I got to take care of this. I got, home, wife, daughter. It was tough, just being in there thinking about all that stuff. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, as long as I can hear from them, get reassurance, I'll be okay. Let me stay in here and just focus on me right now.
Yeah. So that's a good thing. You had a structure in place. That might be a class you need to teach for all the barbers out there that don't know how to structure. Because some don't know about a budget. They don't know how. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And like I said, not to make it a negative thing, but going into the industry, a lot of us, especially around our ages, we jumped in and we were working.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the business stuff we wind up learning after the fact.
Oh, man,
some still don't have it.
No.
And so just an encouragement of, get some things in place.
Yeah, my first day in the shop, my first Saturday, I made good money. It was like 13 years ago. I learned real quick.
Yeah.
Went to the mall, spent all my money. And that next day I was like, well, I can make this back.
That's the mindset, yeah.
Man, I didn't make half that back. I didn't make half of it back. So that kind of taught me something. But, as you get older, you start, having a little bit more responsibility.
Right.
So you got to be smarter with your money, You get older, man. You got, especially having a brand, you got money you got to put into stuff like this. You can't just blow your money.
Anything else you want to share with the listeners?
No, that's pretty much it. I hope that, that this was inspiring, kind of telling some of the things that I went through, being in the hospital. Don't let that be you, because it don't have to be you. I've gone through experience, and I'm here and I'm living to tell, my testimony, if you will, so that I can try to help anybody out there that's going through the same thing. And I know there's young barbers and stylists out there that has that mind frame, because we had it, just working. But as long as you have the passion, the money ain't going nowhere. As long as you have you and your personality, the money's not going anywhere. Take initiative to be responsible about your health.
That's good.
Because if you don't be healthy, you can't do what you're passionate about. You just can't.
Right. So yeah. So if you out there and you just absolutely just don't know what to do, can they contact you?
Yeah, most definitely. Hit me up on IG, is at CBJ Official, and then Josh McKenzie for Facebook. Any questions, I mean, it may take me a while to answer all of y'all, but I mean, if I can help in any way, you know, feel free to contact me.
That's what's up. And y'all know y'all can always contact me. And again, if you know of any physicians, man, inbox either one of us. We want to put it in this tag. Again, post, repost, share, tag some people in it. Tell somebody about it. Because again, this part 2 was to help prevent anybody from having to be in a hospital. Man, we talked about, just to recap, we talked about you getting 30 pounds of fluid pulled off your body. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. Then having to go back into the hospital. So, you know, just that process alone, man, that we don't want that to happen to anybody. So be aware of your body. Listen to your body. Don't let nobody tell you how you're supposed to feel.
Right. And if you have any questions, like I say, just contact me, and this live stream will actually be available in about a week. I don't have a specific date right now.
Okay.
But it'll be put up in about a week, and but I'll keep everybody posted.
Very good. All right. Well, you know you're gonna have to come back on the Keesha Radio Show. It's been a couple of years.
I know. Maybe we'll come back and talk about the Amber collection. I'm trying to get some stuff in place.
Okay.
Oh, if anybody don't know, in Cedar Hill there's a new black beauty supply store.
Okay.
It's called Flawless. It's in Cedar Hill. I don't know the address, but this is Flawless Beauty Supply store.
Okay.
It's owned by it's a black-owned beauty supply store, so we need to start supporting and helping our own. You know?
I'm glad you said that. So this is the thing. If you go in there and the prices might be just a little bit higher,
people don't understand.
They don't. That's why I want. That's why I want to jump on it. We talked about that this week. If the prices are a little bit higher, man, go ahead and patronize, because what you don't understand is typically most brown skins cannot go in and purchase in the amount that other ethnicities can. Then the struggle of even getting certain products, that's a task. The task to get the hair is oh my goodness. So when you go in there, listen, don't go in with the mindset it's supposed to be like Jenny's. No, just support, okay? That's the first thing. They didn't got all that. You don't need all that. Go patronize our people. You have to understand it from that standpoint to, so that it can grow. Right. But oftentimes they don't have the amount to go and purchase in bulk like that to create, this huge store. No, we got to sometimes brick by brick. So just be supportive.
Right.
That's it.
That's pretty much it.
Well, y'all, Josh, thank you so much for being transparent.
No, thank you for doing
telling
that.
some of your business, putting your business out there on the street. As they say, testimonies always help. This is the beginning of documentary. I'm already putting that out there in the atmosphere. Everybody touch and agree. Everybody touch and agree. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Again, don't forget to share. Don't forget to tag. And y'all, let's share. Period. We out. Bye, y'all.